How are you, dear family of my channel? Welcome to my laboratory class. Today I'm going to demonstrate laboratory experiment. This is single displacement reaction. What is single displacement reaction? It means this is a reaction that will be taking place when a more active element is added to the compound of less active element. Therefore, the less active one will be displaced by the more active one, whether may it be metal or non-metal, depending on the degree of reactivity. The one which is less active will be displaced. The one that's more active will be displacing the less active ones. Okay, therefore, now what I'm going to show you is this is this copper sulfate, pentahydrate copper sulfate. Okay, this is the bluish color. This is a blue colored solid salt. This is a powder form of the salt copper sulfate, which is going to be dissolved in water and will react with aluminum foil or aluminum metal. What will be happening in see it. Okay, this is the blue substance or salt, which is going to be dissolved when it forms a blue solution. You can see this one. Yeah, therefore, this is water, as you can see. This is pipe water added. And now I'm going to stir it with a stirrer. This is a stirrer. It is used for dissolution purpose, for dissolving of solid salt in water to form solution, that is copper sulfate solution. Okay, therefore, as you can see, this one, the solution is just preparing. Now I'm going to prepare or just on the way of preparation of copper sulfate solution. Okay, this one is. This one, copper sulfate solution. This is aluminum foil. This is aluminum foil. Okay, this is aluminum metal. I'm going to add it in the solution, and what will be happening, you will see it. There will be, of course, it's not fast or not vigorous reaction. The reaction will be taking place, and within some minutes, the color of the aluminum becomes reddish. Why? Because in the salt solution, copper ion will be displaced by the aluminum metal, because aluminum metal is more active than copper. It displaces on its solution position. When the copper is displaced from the solution, what will be happening? It will be deposited into copper metal, as a copper metal which is going to be deposited on the surface of aluminum, and also the solution, that is a bluish color solution, will be changed to some other forms. It depends on the new solution which is formed, is aluminum sulfate solution will be formed. Okay, after some minutes we will see it, what will be happening. Okay. Yeah, the reaction is taking place. Okay, therefore, what you should take here into mind is the displacement is in the case of metals. Okay, if it is in the case of non-metal, also it depends on the degree of this reactivity. Okay, on the activity series, The elements are listed based on their reactivity towards chemical reactions. Therefore, if you compare copper with aluminium, copper is found below, even from hydrogen, less active than hydrogen even, not only aluminium. Aluminium is very active, one of the active elements or metal elements next to first group elements and second group elements. Aluminium is very active element, okay? Therefore, the color of the solution is going to be just discolorized from its bluish color. Just as you can see, the metal aluminium is just forming on its surface the reddish or brown colored substance, which is copper, is deposited on the surface of this aluminium foil, and the solution turns from blue colored solution into maybe disappearing this color, that is changing to colorless solution after maybe an hour or some time. Okay, therefore what is happening, the displacement reaction is taking place. Displacement of copper from its solution by the more active element aluminium metal. Okay, our class for this laboratory is a single displacement reaction. The reaction between active metal, this is the you can see sodium metal, which is a metal. As you can see, this silvery white metal can be cut with a knife or with a nail, fingernail even. You see, just I'm cutting it into pieces. Okay, and what will be happening? The reaction is with water. I see vigorously fast, and explosion reaction will be taking place. Okay, therefore it's dangerous to just be coming nearer to this reaction. Okay, this is a beaker in which I'm going to add water, little amount of water, this water, and I'm going to add the metal. What will be happening as you will see it. It's a type of explosion reaction, as you can see. This is dangerously fast reaction, explosion reaction. Okay, if I'm adding some bigger lump of metal, the explosion will be high, very high. Okay, and it will be dangerous. Therefore, this is a type of reaction which is single displacement reaction. The metal sodium displacing hydrogen from water, and what will be remained is a base. Sodium hydroxide base will be produced. As you can see, this is just explosion. I'm adding only very pieces of metal sodium, and even it is explosion reaction taking place. Okay, therefore what I'm showing you here, it is basic or acidic, and it is very hot. The water is very cold, which is added now, but after the reaction taking place, it is very hot. Okay, why? Because the reaction is exothermic reaction. It produces heat energy, and the beaker is very, very hot. It is difficult even to touch it. Okay, then what I'm going to do here is checking whether the solution which is prepared is acidic or basic, and what is formed should be checked by this universal indicator. As you can see, this is universal indicator. Okay, if it is base, it will be changed into bluish color. You see, this one is immediately changed into even deep blue or purple. I see this, the base produced is stronger base. Okay, which is very strong as compared to many other bases like magnesium hydroxide we prepared in the previous experiment was weak base, but this base is very strong base which is prepared. Dear family of my channel, welcome to my class again. This class is, as you observed, the laboratory class. Okay, you observed the experiments, the single displacement reaction, upon the aluminum metal foil with copper to sulfate solution, and the reaction between sodium metal and water. Okay, therefore the experiment in the laboratory was taken place as follow. This is just A, the first experiment, reaction of aluminum foil and copper sulfate, and B, the second experiment, sodium metal react with water. Okay, as it is explained on the demonstration part, just there are questions and answers provided on the basis of that presentation class. Okay, and the questions and the answers are going to be just provided as follow, and you'll check or evaluate yourself. Question number 1 say, for example, what did you observe on the aluminum foil after some times? That means when aluminum foil is immersed into solution of a blue solution of copper to sulfate, therefore after some times, maybe to around 20 minutes, something like that, the reddish brown copper metal is deposited, which was observed on the surface of the aluminum foil. The second question provided is write a balanced chemical equation for the reaction between aluminum and the copper to sulfate blue solution taking place, and after sometimes the blue solution disappeared and it becomes colorless. That is because the aluminum sulfate is formed and the copper metal, which is displaced from this solution, was observed deposited on the surface of the aluminum foil. The third question says write the conclusion for the experiment. Yes, you can conclude the experiment as follow. Aluminum displaced copper from its copper to sulfate solution and forms colorless aluminum sulfate solution, since aluminum is more active metal than copper. On the other hand, the displaced copper is deposited on the surface of the aluminum foil, as you observed in the demonstration class. Okay, the second experiment. Questions and answers on the second experiment. That's the experiment based on the reaction of sodium metal and water. Number 1. What did you observe on the reaction between sodium and water? Yes, you observed explosion reaction. It creates fire and exploded. It exploded. Yeah, of course. Therefore, the reaction observed was about the explosion reaction. Number 2, write a balanced chemical equation for the reaction of the sodium and water. Yes, the reaction taking place between water and sodium. Explosion reaction was observed and formed a solution. The solution was that of colorless solution, which is sodium hydroxide, and the gas evolved during the reaction, which is displaced by the sodium metal. Okay, and it is released. Yes, you observe this situation. And the third question, write the conclusion for the experiment. Sodium displaced hydrogen from water. Just you observed, because we checked the solution remained after the reaction, that turns a yellowish universal indicator blue, because the solution formed after the experiment conducted was basic solution. Yes, therefore it forms colorless sodium hydroxide base. Why it is base? We checked using universal indicator. It turns from yellow to blue color. Okay, deep blue color, which is stronger base as compared to magnesium hydroxide you observed in the previous classes about magnesium hydroxide. Therefore, it is due to the fact that sodium is more active than hydrogen. It can displace from water, and it is a type of single displacement reaction. What we talk still now about the two experiments are concerning about types of single displacement reactions. Generally, single displacement reaction can be explained as follow. Okay, reaction in which more active element displaces another less active element from its compound, which is known as single displacement or replacement. single displacement reaction. Such a reaction is represented by the following two general forms. That is A, if A is more active metal than B, that is assuming A and B are metals, but A is more active than B, it will displace. A will displace B to form AC. That is, B is less active than A, therefore A will displace B. Then it will be AC. The new compound formed will be AC, and B is displaced away. If A is more active non-metal than C, that means C is non-metal, A is non-metal, but A is more active non-metal than C. Therefore, what will be the compound formed? Then it will be the Ba plus C. The new compound formed will be Ba plus C. In general, a more reactive element displaces a less active element from its compound during the single displacement reaction process. There are many examples which are just explaining about types of single displacement reactions. For example, active metals displace hydrogen from acids. Active metals like potassium, calcium, sodium, and zinc displace hydrogen gas from dilute acids. For example, zinc, when zinc is added to dilute hydrochloric acid or dilute sulfuric acid, it will form zinc salt. This is zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas will be displaced. Okay, because zinc is more active than this hydrogen gas or hydrogen. But elements like copper, silver, and gold are less active metals as compared to the hydrogen. Therefore, they cannot displace hydrogen from dilute acids. These elements, gold, silver, and copper, and like these less active elements in the activity series, cannot displace hydrogen. Therefore, reaction will not be taking place. Okay. Reactive metals such as potassium and sodium react vigorously with water to displace hydrogen, as you observe in the above experiment. For example, sodium is added to water, explosion reaction will be taking place to form sodium hydroxide base and hydrogen gas. Okay, we checked sodium hydroxide with universal indicator turns blue. It turned its color of yellow universal indicator paper to blue because it is base. A more active metal displaces less active metal from a solution. The first experiment we observed in the above case seems like this one, which is, for example, iron is added to the copper sulfate solution, which is blue solution, and after some times, maybe 1 day time take place because the reaction is slow reaction. Therefore, the blue solution turns greenish color because the new compound formed is iron sulfate. Then copper is displaced. This is reddish brown colored copper will be deposited on the iron article. This is iron nail. Okay, therefore this shows a blue solution turns to green, and the iron, it was silvery white or gray metal, as it will be reddish brown on its surface because the displaced copper will be deposited on the surface of iron nail. That is the reason it becomes reddish brown. Okay, investigation of single displacement reaction based on your textbook, experiment 1.3. The objective is to investigate the displacement reaction between iron rod and copper to sulfate solution. Note that solid means solution. To say in short, that is all solid. Apparatus is iron rod and a beaker. Chemical is used, copper sulfate solution and iron rod. Look at this the apparatus diagram on page 17 of your textbook. The questions and answers are provided for this reaction. Question is, if you were doing experiment 1.3, this one, we didn't do this experiment, unfortunately, we didn't do this one. We did do the aluminum instead of iron. Okay? If you were doing this experiment, what will be having in your observation is just the following points. What did you observe on the iron rod after 1 day? 1 day means iron rod is immersed into copper sulfate solution. Here, for example, this is a reaction equation. The iron is immersed or added to copper to sulfate solution and left for 1 day. Therefore, a greenish solution will be observed. This is due to the formation of iron sulfate solution. And the copper which is displaced from this solution will be deposited on the surface of the remained iron article. Okay, therefore, reddish brown copper metal is deposited on the surface of iron rod. The iron rod becomes reddish brown on its surface. Okay, number 3. Write the conclusion for the experiment based on these ones. Iron displaces copper from copper sulfate solution and forms pale green iron sulfate solution since iron is more active than copper. On the other hand, the displaced copper is deposited on the surface of the remained iron article or iron rod. Okay, when we come to the exercise 1.3, it is of course your homework, but just I'll tell you wordingly. I'll not write the answer because you are supposed to do it by yourself. But zinc can displace hydrogen from this solution, and what will be formed? Zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas will be formed. Zinc again will be added to zinc nitrate solution. This is zinc nitrate. What will be happening? Since zinc is more active than copper, then the solution remained will be zinc nitrate plus copper. Zinc nitrate plus copper metal will be formed. Copper plus silver nitrate. Copper is more active than silver. Silver is less active than copper. Therefore, copper can displace silver. What will be formed? Copper nitrate plus silver will be formed. Chlorine plus potassium iodide. Since chlorine is more active non-metal than iodine, therefore chlorine can displace iodine. What will be formed? Potassium chloride plus iodine. Potassium chloride plus iodine will be formed. Fluorine reacts with calcium chloride. Since fluorine is more active than chlorine, it can displace chlorine. Therefore, the compound formula will be calcium fluoride plus chlorine. Okay, this will be the answer of the exercise 1.3. This is the end of the class. Okay, if you do have any question, you can put your comments, and just I think you like it and share it for your friends. This is the end of our class. እስካሁን በእንግሊዝኛ የተናገሩትን ነገር በአማርኛ ስገልጸው ኤክስፐሪመንት ላቦራቶሪ ኤክስፐሪመንት በተለቀቀው ከላይ ባለው ቪዲዮ አማካኝነት ፕራክቲካል ላቦራቶሪ ኦብዘርቬሽን ማለት ነው እንግዲህ እነዚህ ጥያቄዎችን እናያለን። አይታችኋል። ያያችሁትን ላቦራቶሪ ላይ የተሰጠውን ኤክስፕላኔሽን አይታችኋልና አሉሚኒየም ፎይል ወይንም አሉሚኒየም ሜታል ኮፐር ቱ ሰልፌት የሚባል ሶሉሽን ውስጥ ሰማያዊ ከለር ያለው ሶሉሽን ውስጥ ሲጨመር ሶሉሽኑ ቀስ በቀስ ከለሩ እየቀየረ ይሄድና ወደ ከለርለስነት ይቀየራል። ለምን? አሉሚኒየም ኮፐርን የማስወገድ ችሎታ ስላለው በጣም አክቲቭ ስለሆነ ኮፐርን ያስወግድና በቦታው ከሰልፌት ጋር ወደት ያደርጋል። እዛ አሉሚኒየም ሰልፌት ይፈጠራል። ኮፐር ደግሞ ሜታሉ ብቻውን ተለይቶ ይወጣል። እንደውም ኮፐሩ ተለይቶ የወጣው ኮፐር ከቀሪው የአሉሚኒየም ፎይል ላይ ወይም የአሉሚኒየም ሜታል ላይ ይጠፈጠፍና ላይ ይጋገራል ማለት ነው። ዲፖዚት ያደርጋል ማለት ነው። እና የአሉሚኒየም ፎይሉ ጀርባው ቀይ ሬዲሽ ብራውን ቡናማ የቀይ ቡናማ ቀለም ከለር ይኖረዋል ማለት ነው። ያንን እዛ ኦብዘርቬሽን ላይ አሳይቻለሁ። ያንን ማየት ትችላላችሁ። ሌላው ሶዲየም ሜታልና ውሃ እንዴት በጣም እየተቀጣጠለ የሚፈነዳ አይነት ሪአክሽን እንደሚያደርግ አይታችኋል ማለት ነው። ቢኮዝ አሉሚኒየም በጣም አክቲቭ ሜታል ስለሆነ ከውሃ ጋር ሲጨምሩት በጣም የመፈንዳትና በአካባቢ ያለው ነገር ሁሉ የማቀጣጠል አቅም አለው። ትልቅ ፍንዳታ ነው። ከፍ ያለ የአሉሚኒየም ሜታል ውሃ ውስጥ ጨምር ኑሮ አካባቢውን ብርጭቆ ራሱ ስብርብርብር እንኩትኩት ነው የሚለው። አካባቢው ሁሉ ሳት በሳት ነበር የሚሆነው ማለት ነው። እና ኃይለኛ ሪአክሽን ነው የሚያደርገው። ይሄ ሪአክሽን ሶዲየም ከውሃ ውስጥ ያለውን ሃይድሮጅን አንዱን ሃይድሮጅን ነጥሎ ለይቶ ያስወግደዋል ማለት ነው። የተወሰነው ሃይድሮጅን ይቀራል፣ ከሃይድሮክሳይድ ሆኖ ይቀራል። እዛ ሜታል ሶዲየም ከሃይድሮክሳይድ ጋር ውህድ ያደርግና ቤዝ ይፈጥራል ማለት ነው። ይሄንን አይታችኋል። ጥያቄዎች በዚህ በተመለከተ እንግዲህ መጀመሪያ ኤ ላይ ያለው ጥያቄ ይላል what did you observe on the aluminum foil after some time aluminum foilun ከተወሰነ ጊዜ በኋላ ምን ሆኖ አያችሁት ነው የሚለው aluminum foil የተወሰነው ዲዞልቭ ሆኖ ወደ አሉሚኒየም ሰልፌትነት ተቀይሯል የተወሰነ የቀረው ላይ ደግሞ ኮፐር ሜታል ዲስፕሌስ የተደረገ አሉሚኒየም ያስወገደው ኮፐር ከአሉሚኒየም ፎይሉ ላይ ዙሮ በቃ ንብርብሮሽ ወይም ተጋግሯል ማለት ነው ንብርብሮሽ ሰርቷል ማለት ነው ስለዚህ አሉሚኒየሙ ምን አይነት ቀለም ጀርባው ላይ ይታይ ነበር ሬዲሽ ብራውን ኮፐር አበላው ላይ ዲፖዚትድ ሆኖ ይታያል ማለት ነው ወይም ታይቷል ማለት ነው በኤክስፐሪመንቱ ላይ right balanced chemical equation for the reaction balanced chemical equation ሁለት አሉሚኒየም ከሶስት አሉሚኒየም ኮፐር ሰልፌት ጋራ ሲዋሃድ አንድ አሉሚኒየም ሰልፌት ፕላስ 3 ኮፐር 3 ሞል ኦፍ ኮፐር ይፈጠራል ማለት ነው ይሄ ነው ብሉ ሶሉሽኑ ወደ ከለርለስ ሶሉሽን because አሉሚኒየም ሰልፌት ማለት ቀለም የለውም ውሃ የሚመስል ቀለም ያለው ሶሉሽን ስለሆነ ማለት ነው right conclusion for the experiment አሁን አሉሚኒየም ስንጨምር ከኮፐር ሰልፌት ሶሉሽን ላይ ስንጨምር ከለርለስ ሶሉሽን የአሉሚኒየም ሰልፌት ከለርለስ ሶሉሽን ተፈጥሯል ይሄ የሆነበት ምክንያት አሉሚኒየም ከኮፐር የበለጠ በጣም አክቲቭ ስለሆነ ኮፐርን ዲስፕሌስ ማድረግ ማስወገድ ችሏል ማለት ነው በሌላ አባባል ዲስፕሌስ የሆነው የተተካው የተወገደው ኮፐር ደግሞ ዙሮ እንደገና ከቃሪው አሉሚኒየም ቅጠል ወይም አሉሚኒየም ሜታል ላይ ተነባብሮ ተገኝቷል ማለት ነው ታይቷል ማለት ነው ሁለተኛው ኤክስፐሪመንት ላይ ያለው ጥያቄና መልሶች ደግሞ የሚከተሉት ናቸው what did you observe on the reaction between sodium and water you observed reaction was a type of explosion reaction ነበር ሪአክሽኑ በጣም ፍንዳታ ያለበት እሳትና የመፈንዳት ድምጾች ሁሉ የተፈጠሩበት ሪአክሽን ነበር ማለት ነው ይሄን አይታችኋል right balanced chemical equation you know sodium reacts with water gives sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen እዚህ አሁን በፊት balanced chemical equation ላይ ይሄን ትምህርት የተማራችሁ ስለሆነ ማየት ትችላላችሁ ማለት ነው ሶስተኛ right conclusion for the experiment ለኤክስፐሪመንቱ conclusion እንዴት ነው መሰለው ሶዲየም በጣም አክቲቭ ስለሆነ ሃይድሮጅን ከውሃውስ ሃይድሮጅን ዲስፕሌስ አድርጎ ከለርለስ ሶዲየም ሃይድሮክሳይድ የሚባል ሶሉሽን ተፈጥሯል ይህ ሶዲየም ሃይድሮክሳይድ ደግሞ በዩኒቨርሳል ኢንዲኬተር ቼክ ስናደርገው ዩኒቨርሳል ኢንዲኬተሩን ወደ ብሉነት ወደ ሰማያዊነት ቀለም ቀይሮታል ያ ቤዝ ለመሆኑ ማረጋገጫ ነው ማለት ነው ይሄም እንዲህ ለምን ሆነ ቢባል ሶዲየም በጣም አክቲቭ ስለሆነ ሃይድሮጅንን ከውሃውስ ዲስፕሌስ ማድረግ ማስወገድ ችሏል ማለት ነው ይሄን ሪአክሽን ነው የተካሄደው ሌላው አጠቃላይ ሲንግል ዲስፕሌስመንት ሪአክሽን ምንድነው ከተባለ አንድ በጣም አክቲቭ የሆነ ኤሌመንት ሌስ አክቲቭ የሆነውን ኤሌመንት ከኮምፓውንድ ውስጥ መተካት ወይንም ማስወገድ መቻል ማለት ነው ሲንግል ዲስፕሌስመንት ማለት ነው ነጠላ የሆነ ዲስፕሌስመንት ወይም ውገዳ ማለት ነው ሁለት ነገር አይወገድም አንድ ነገር ብቻ ነው የሚወገድ ከኮምፓውንድ ውስጥ ማለት ነው ሜታል ሊሆን ይችላል ወይም ነን ሜታል ሊሆን ይችላል ለምሳሌ A ከBC የሚባል አንድ ኮምፓውንድ አለ A ሜታል ከሆነ B ሜታል ከሆነ እና B ከA ያነሰ ከሆነ በአክቲቪቲው ወይም A ሞር አክቲቭ ከሆነ የበለጠ አክቲቭ ከሆነ ከB የበለጠ ከሆነ B ያስወግድና በB ቦታ ይገባል AC ይሆናል ማለት ነው B ደግሞ ብቻውን ይወጣል ማለት ነው ይሄ እንግዲህ ሲንግል ዲስፕሌስመንት ይባላል A እና C ነን ሜታል ከሆኑ C ከA ያነሰ ከሆነ በአክቲቪቲው A C ይተካና BA የሚባል ኮምፓውንድ ይፈጠራል C ደግሞ ብቻውን ይወጣና ይወገዳል ማለት ነው ይሄን ይመስላል ሲንግል ዲስፕሌስመንት በአጠቃላይ ብዙ ምሳሌዎች አሉ መጻፋችሁ ላይ ማየት ትችላላችሁ አክቲቭ ሜታል ሃይድሮጅን እንዴት ዲስፕሌስ ማድረግ የሚችል ለምሳሌ ዚንክ ከሃይድሮክሎሪክ አሲድ ጋር ሲዋሃድ ዚንክ ክሎራይድ እና ሃይድሮጅን ጋር ይፈጠራል ኮፐር ሜታል ግን ከሃይድሮጅን ያነሰ ስለሆነ አክቲቪቲው ሪአክሽን ማድረግ አይችልም ኮፐር ሲልቨር ጎልድ የሚባሉ ኤሌመንቶች ከሃይድሮጅን ያነሱ ናቸው በአክቲቪቲያቸው ማለት ነው ስለዚህ ሪአክሽን አይፈጥሩም ማለት ነው ሪአክቲቭ ሜታል ካሁን በፊት ላይ ያየነው ነው ሶዲየም እና ፖታሲየም ከውሃ ጋር በጣም ኤክስፕሎሽን ሪአክሽን ያደርጉና ቤዝ እና ሃይድሮጅን ጋዝ ይፈጥራሉ ማለት ነው ሞር አክቲቭ ሜታል ዲስፕሌስ ሌስ አክቲቭ ሜታል ፍሮም ሶሉሽን ይሄ ከላይ ያየነው አሉሚኒየም እና ኮፐር ሰልፌት እንዴት ሲዋሃዱ በኤክስፐሪመንት ላይ አይተናል ለዚህም አይረንም እንደዚሁ ከኮፐር የበለጠ አክቲቭ ስለሆነ ኮፐርን ዲስፕሌስ ያደርግና ግሪኒሽ ሶሉሽን ኦፍ አይረን ሰልፌት እና ሬዲሽ ብራውን ኮፐር ሜታል ይፈጠራል ማለት ነው ዲስፕሌስመንት ይካሄዳል ማለት ነው ለምሳሌ ይሄ ብሉ ሶሉሽን ኮፐር ሰልፌት ነው አይረን ኔል ከዚህ ውስጥ ብትጨምሩ ምንድነው የሚሆነው ይሄ ሶሉሽን ወደ ግሪንነት ይቀየራል ለምን ይሄ ሶሉሽን ኮፐር ሰልፌት ሳይሆን አይረን ሰልፌት ስለሆነ ማለት ነው የተፈጠረው እዚህ ጋር የተፈጠረው ኮፐር እዚህ ጋር የተወገደው ኮፐር እዚህ ጋር ከመስማሩ ላይ መስማሩ እንደምታዩት አይረን ነው ከአይረኑ ኔል ላይ ዲፖዚት አድርጓል የምታዩት ነው መስማሩ አሁን ቀይ ነው ጀርባው ላው ያለ ማለት ለምን ኮፐር ከዚህ ሶሉሽን የወጣው ኮፐር ከአይረን ላይ ሄዶ ተጠፍጥፏል ማለት ነው ይሄ እንግዲህ ሲንግል ዲስፕሌስመንት የሚለውን ያሳያል ኤክስፐሪመንት አሁን በላይ ያልነው ነው ለምሳሌ if you are doing the experiment 1.3 ማለት አይረን እና ኮፐር ሰልፌት ብታዋህዱ አሁን ከላይ የገለጽኩላችሁን አይነት ነገር ነው የምታዩት ማለት ነው what did you observe on the iron rod after one day አይረን ሮዱን ኮፐር ሰልፌት ሶሉሽን ውስጥ ብትጨምሩት ይሄን አይረን እዚህ ውስጥ ብትጨምሩት ከላይ አሁን ኤክስፕሌን ያደረኩላችሁ ነው green solution of iron sulfate እና ኮፐር ሜታል ዲፖዚት ያደርጋል ማለት ነው ይሄ ኮፐር ሜታል ከአይረኑ ላይ ከቀሪው አይረን ላይ እንደገና ሄዶ ይጠፈጠፋል ማለት ነው ላው ላይ ያርፋል ማለት ነው ስለዚህ ይሄ አይረን ግሬይ የነበረው ጀርባው ወይ ሙጨኛው ፓርት ምን ይሆናል ሬዲሽ ብራውን ከለር ይሆናል ማለት ነው ለምን ይሄ ኮፐር ዲስፕሌስ የተደረገው ኮፐር የተወገደው ኮፐር እንደገና መጥቶ ዙሮ ከዚህ ላይ ነው የሚያርፈው ማለት ነው ከቀሪው አይረን ላይ ራይት ኮንክሉዥን ይላል አይረን በጣም የበለጠ አክቲቭ ስለሆነ ከኮፐር ማለት ነው ኮፐርን ዲስፕሌስ ያደርግና ከሶሉሽን ውስጥ ዲስፕሌስ ያደርግና በቦታው ኮፐር ሰልፌት የነበረው አይረን ሰልፌት ይሆናል ማለት ነው የወጣው ኮፐር ደግሞ እንደገና ከአይረን ሮዱ ላይ ሄዶ ይጠፈጠፍና አይረን ሮዱን ቀይ ቡናማ ቀለም እንዲኖረው ያደርጋል ማለት ነው ይሄ ነው ይሄ ዲስፕሌስመንት ሪአክሽን ያደርጋሉ እነዚህ ሪአክሽኖች ዚንክ ሃይድሮጅን መተካት ይችላል ስለዚህ ዚንክ ሰልፌት እና ሃይድሮጅን ይፈጠራል ብለናል ዚንክ ኮፐር የበለጠ ከኮፐር የበለጠ አክቲቭ ስለሆነ አሁንም ዚንክ በኮፐር ቦታ ይገባና ዚንክ ናይትሬት ይሆናል ኮፐር ብቻውን ይገነጠላል ማለት ነው ኮፐር ሲልቨር የበለጠ ከሲልቨር የበለጠ አክቲቭ ስለሆነ ኮፐር አሁንም ሲልቨርን ዲስፕሌስ ያደርግና ኮፐር ናይትሬት ፕላስ ሲልቨር ይፈጠራል ብያለሁ ክሎሪን ከአዮዲን የበለጠ አክቲቭ ስለሆነ አዮዲን ዲስፕሌስ ያደርግና ኮፐር ፖታሲየም ክሎራይድ ፕላስ አዮዲን ይፈጠራል ማለት ነው ፍሎሪን ደግሞ ከክሎሪን የበለጠ አክቲቭ ስለሆነ ካልሲየም ፍሎራይድ ፕላስ ክሎሪን የሚባል ነገር ይፈጠራል ማለት ነው ይሄን ይመስላል ላይክ ሼር ኮሜንት ማድረግን አትርሱ በሚቀጥለው ክላስ ከምንገናኝ ሰላም ሁኑ ሰላም አላህ ሰላም ያገናኘን ኦኬ